Hi everyone! Today I have a journal to share which I showed the signatures, or the beginnings of the signatures, a while ago, and I finally completed it. I had to shelve it for a little while, and now it's done, and here it is. It's a Jane Austen themed, with many of the pages being Jane Austen themed, but it's got a whole lot of everything in it. And this is my own journal, and so all kinds of things that I love. So I'll talk a little bit about the cover. I've got the book corners here. I have done a lot of layering with a vintage crochet piece here, and then feathers, this beautiful lace that was given to me by my friend Liz, who is the Paper Project on YouTube. And then here's the spine. I've put a couple eyelets here in order to hang this chain for a dangle. And then I've got this beautiful collection of charms and things, and this actually right here is a piece from a necklace I loved that broke, and I kept the pieces, and so there's a little bit of the junk element in that as well. And then on the signature strings, the center signature strings, I've hung some charms. So this is a hand-dyed seam binding closure that I've just tied into a bow, and then I have a hitch fastener. And what did I use to dye it? I used a little bit of the vintage photo re-inker, and I also used some white and some red distress paint daubers. I don't remember the exact color, but in order to get that pink, and I just kind of played around with it. So inside here, I've got all my little notes from things. Let's set those aside. This turned out to be really fat, and I don't know, I think I have a tendency to go crazy with the details, but I love it, and I love roses. And so here's this paper that I love. There's stamping throughout also. This paper, I believe, was from the Dear Jane stack, and this one I don't remember where it was from, but I could look it up if anybody really wants to know. It was something I bought off scrapbook.com. And I've done sewing in here also, so this has a sewn on pocket here. I have a feeling this is going to be a long video, so I hope I can not talk too much, but just enough. There's that there. And then I've got doily and tracing paper, and it's big, so I'm going to try to stay in frame. Please forgive me if I'm not showing what you want to see. And my hands are in the way. Here's a glassine bag. I've got lace and this little rose here. So it's so fat, it's almost hard to maneuver it. But I will be writing in it, and I may take some of the things out eventually if I have trouble with that. So here's a book page here, and I've got a little bit of detail there. These tags, I believe, are from, do I have it here? Yes, I do. From the website Call Me Victorian. I don't know. Yeah, this might be the same tag for these tags, but I did a few different printables from that website. Here's an envelope that I made and cut out on my Cricut, I believe, and inside I have, this is a really cool, like a Rolodex thing I got from Liz, my friend. Love those. And I have something else in here too. This is probably Tsunami Rose Ephemera here. And I think that's where the stamp was also. I'm just going to set that aside rather than put it back together. Here's a little mini booklet I made a long time ago, and just stuck that in there. And this one I think was from a scrapbook paper, and I had that in my stash. Set that aside. I've made a little banner tuck here. These here, I believe these, you know, I can't remember where these came from. They're either that Call Me Victorian or Ephemera's Vintage Garden, but since I can't remember, I'm not going to say exactly, because I don't want to get it wrong. All kinds of trim throughout. Here's a little, like, glassine bag. And then this was from the paper stack, Dear Jane paper stack. It's a journaling card I put in there. Here's a little altered paper clip that I've done with some vintage lace. And I've done some washi throughout also, so this flips out right along there, and then there's a little tuck there. The things to do printable is Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and a lot of the Ephemera's Vintage Garden printables that I have in here are for personal use. And since this is my journal, I had a bunch of them, and then I'm gonna use it for personal use. So here's another. This is Graphic 45. It's a journaling card. And I don't remember the exact collection that's from. Again, if you really have to know, comment and I'll dig up the information and get back to you on it. Here's a free printable that I got off Pinterest a long time ago, and I've backed it onto an index card, and I've had it. And then there's that. Another pocket here. This is just 2 pages glued together. This is a Tsunami Rose ephemera. And what else have I got in here? Ooh, this is from a pad of paper I had, and I just folded it, and let's see if I can get it in frame here. Folded it, and oh, if you could smell it, I love that smell. I do love coffee, and a lot of the things in here are coffee dyed, although I also tea dye sometimes, but I think mostly this one's got coffee dyed papers, and whoops, I'm moving there, and they smell nice. Here is a little, what is this? I don't know what this is, but it's from A Tattered Dream, Denise's shop on Etsy. And I do have her card here, which I like to show because it's so pretty. That's where that comes from, and I punched a little butterfly out, and I just tell you because you might want to know, I don't have any affiliation with that shop. So here's a little flip out. This was the top. You might be able to see the remnant of adhesive. It was the top of an envelope I had in my scrap. So I used it there. Here's another glassine bag and a butterfly punch that Liz gave me. These are those playing cards, and here it is. The Playing Hearts. Personal use printable from Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and the clock is from the Call Me Victorian, and it's a vintage clock, I believe, digital collage sheet. Maybe that's it. Here is an idea I got from Paula Lemon. I had a scrapbook paper here, and I folded it up to look like an envelope, and I'm keeping it closed with this altered paper clip and hiding behind this painted damsel here. This is an upside down envelope that I have stitched in here, and I'm using the ceiling flap as a tuck here with couple tags, and then I've slit the top, and it's holding a beautiful journal card from Graphic 45. This one is a tag I made out of book page and a napkin decoupaged on. There's the back, and I've gessoed it so you can write right over those lovely words from, I believe, Northanger Abbey. Nope, Sense and Sensibility, actually. This one is another one of those Graphic 45 journaling cards. Lovely. On this side, I have made a little tuck up here, and I have this ephemera, which, where'd I get this? It might be a Tim Holtz collection of little bits of ephemera, and then this card was Kaisercraft, and it was from a scrapbook page. I don't remember the collection name on that, but I'm sure I could find it if you would like to know. Again, here's another one of those clocks from Call Me Victorian, and this little piece is from that collection of ephemera, which I'm thinking was Tim Holtz, but I'm not 100% sure. Here is, I don't remember where I printed that out from, the feather, but, and then I've got a couple tags here. Cute little peacock. These I've had in my stash for a while. They are coffee dyed. This was fun. I love tiny things. I've mentioned that before, and had this little scrap of paper, and I thought, well, I'd try to make it into a tiny envelope. It's not perfect, but it sure is cute. So this is just a little piece of, yeah, I think, I don't even remember how I did that. And you can see, so the post is from a stamp that said postcard, but the little, I just drew the little spot to make it look like a stamp. Here's the other half of that. And we've got this is a journal card, and it is from the same collection of scrapbook paper that this beginning rose paper was from. And this is a Tsunami Rose ephemera printable. Here is the books are from the Dear Jane paper stack. And this one's pretty snug. So maybe I won't pull that all the way out. But that is an Ephemera's Vintage Garden free personal use printable. Got this cute clock here that came with the, where is that bag? When I bought these bags, it came with tags. So see how it matches? There were a few tags that, 3 different tags that came with that set. This is the Ephemera's Vintage Garden printable. On here I have this decoupage doily, and then I had a tutorial for this flower that I made here. I have a video tutorial. There's another little paper from a pad. Stick that in there. There's so many things in this, I'll never get through it. So here's another one of the Kaisercraft journal cards, and this is the one from that rose paper page. And this is graphic 45, and up here I've got a little narrow tuck spot. Let's put that back in there. Here's a little tuck, a banner tuck with the Ephemera's Vintage Garden printable. And we have Tsunami Rose behind here, beautiful. And an Ephemera's Vintage Garden personal use printable. And this also is Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And those, let's see, I have used, oh, this one comes from Planner Notes, and this one might be the My Love, and I don't remember what the one with the ladies and the peacocks is called, but those were all Ephemera's Vintage Garden. This is another graphic 45, and we have, oh, another Tsunami Rose printable there. This pretty tag tucked in here. This right here is Dreamz Etc. That was from one of the Simply Jane, or the Simply Jane ephemera. Oh, and the pages that have the Jane theme, these digitals, are also Dreamz Etc. Simply Jane. These here. Another playing card from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. Here is a cute greeting card that I found at Half Price Books. Love the look of it, and it's got those old books on it. I have another one in here somewhere from the same set. It came with 2 kinds of greeting cards. Here's some more ephemera from Tsunami Rose. Tucked in there. I hope I'm not blocking the view with my hands. Please forgive me if my hands are getting in the way. I know somebody has commented on that before, and I have had a thumbs down once. I wish, though, they could say why, because there were no comments on that. But I think it was because my arm was in the way. That's the only thing I can think is. Alright, here I am rambling. Sorry about that, folks. This one is from Tsunami Rose, and it is Vintage Parcel, I believe. And this is an Ephemera's Vintage Garden personal use printable. Here's the clock from Me Victorian, and the card from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. Saying the same thing over and over, so maybe I'll just keep flipping. Alright, we have something different here. I did a little flip out there for like more writing space. Here's another envelope that I've sewn in upside down and used the flap for a little tuck here. Love this note card set that I got. And then I've opened the side. This is another one of those Ephemera's Vintage Garden tags. And let's see here. Oh, another flip out here. This one I actually sewed on. And then it's got a little pocket here. And this is inspired by Patty Viramontes, Patricia Viramontes on Junk Journal Junkies Facebook group. Book page envelope, and get in there. Let's see, another glassine envelope, and later on in here you'll see this envelope, and I used the offcut to make an extra little tuck spot here. And oh, I should show this since this is an original creation. I have collaged some, I think these are maybe Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and they were, some of them printed badly, and so covering up the bad print. And then the butterfly here is from Me Victorian, and the background was something I had done a long time ago, and so I just used that for that. Come on, turn. Here is a flip out, and I've added these little scallop circles as tab spots. Oops. And this is the center of the signature there, and here's a Tsunami Rose printable, and this is the other greeting card from Half Price Books. They're very thick greeting cards. I mean, like a sturdy cardstock. Then this is just glued on here, and this flips out, and this clear bit here is a label pocket I found at Target. I just could not cover up these beautiful old books on this paper. This is a scrapbook paper that I had. So here's more of those. Yeah, this is Tim Holt's Ephemera collection. And then this was from with those bags. Those glassine bags that came. It's a tag. You didn't know. Okay, arm, are you in the way? Yep, of course it is. Alright. Here we have a little tuck with the trim there, and this is one of those music cards that you can get from A Tattered Dream, or it's a music flash card. And a little tuck here with the Dear Jane stack, and then Graphic 45 journal card. And ooh, I love that paper. That's DCWV, this one right here, and I think it's called the Heirloom Collection, or Heirloom, something like that. Here is, this was from a free printable, this side, and then I decoupaged it on. Don't remember the name. I talked about it before in a previous video. It came with some butterflies. I just had it already printed out. Here, this flips. Here's the other side of that envelope. These also are Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and they're from the personal use printables. So this little strip of beautiful ribbon was from a packaging of bath salts that I bought, and so I saved it, of course. So there's the junk journal aspect in it. All my little collections of things I couldn't get rid of. Here's an altered paper clip. This was a pocket, but I don't know what I was thinking, because you could stick something in there, but it was really hard, so I trimmed it out, and now it's just a secret journaling spot, because then I've got this here, and there's a bookmark, and you really want to keep something secret. Write it underneath the flap, so there we go. I've got all kinds of weird things in here. But, you know, you learn, and I probably won't do that idea again. These are both the Tim Holtz Ephemera. And here we have a journal card and another Tim Holtz Ephemera. This is just stapled on, and a little tuck there for that tag. Tracing paper, love the sound of that. My husband does not like the sound of rattling paper. It drives him nuts if I'm watching a video. He's like, can you get headphones? But I know most of the people that like junk journals have commented that they love the sound of the paper. So that's kind of funny. Little side note there. So here is a pocket, and I've stitched this on. I've got Ephemera from Tsunami Rose is where I got that. These bookmarks, I don't remember where those came from. And this was from a scrapbook paper. And then I've tucked a few things down here. Here's a Tim Holtz tag. And this is from the Dear Jane paper stack. It says, perhaps it is our imperfections that make us so perfect for one another. And a little tag here that I got from A Tattered Dream. And I've coffee dyed it. She has those on her shop as well. This is another piece from, my paper clip's coming off, and I've just turned it into a flip. And then on this side is a tag, very snugly placed in there. I'm not going to put it back. Let's see, we have some more coffee dyed note paper. This is, you know, the shopping list type paper. Another one of those beautiful little tags with the ladies. Here's a tiny little spot. And this has pockets with more of the Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And this, I think, is from the Tim Holtz Ephemera package. And inside this glassine bag, I have my own little journaling card that I made. Again, this was Ephemera's Vintage Garden, I think, and it was an off print. Then this little lady here was from the Me Victorian. Some music paper. The funny story on this is my daughter's violin teacher asked me to make a photocopy, and I don't know, somehow the machine was set to like 16 copies, so it printed out about 4 or 5 of them before I noticed, and so I coffee dyed them, and now I'm using them as music paper. Works. Makes me feel better too. Here's the other half of that bag that I was talking about earlier. This note paper came from the thrift shop. It's beautiful, and it takes coffee dyeing very well. Love it when I find treasures at the thrift shop. You never know what you're gonna get. Get in there. I love this paper too from Dreamz Etc. Here is another printable Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and this was part like a mini, what do you call it? A mini index card, and I don't even remember how I got it to look like this, but I like it. I think it was something that was underneath something else I was doing. In the center here, I've tied some little tags onto the ends of the strings. Then we have, oh, there's all kinds of stuff in here. There's a Tim Holtz piece and a little tag. And then this is also from the glassine envelope. Throw that over there. Can't struggle with that. This video is already getting too long. Here's the hat where I cut off that corner and reused it elsewhere. So another one, little ephemera here, tucked in here. Have you seen this? Yeah, I think I showed you that butterfly paper already. Beautiful coffee staining on this one. What's in here? Ah, another little... come out. I want to show you what's going on. Oh, I know why it's sticking. So this one I Mod Podged, and sometimes it does that, gets sticky. Yeah, so little butterflies there. I backed it with line paper too. This video is a surprise for me too. I forgot what I did in here. So here is an envelope that I made and I sewed it on the flap there to use as a tuck. This is, excuse me, another book paper tag that I've made with a decoupaged napkin. And on the other side here, it flips out, and inside we have this cute little collection of scraps that I've sewn together. And let's get that back in there real quick. And it has to go all the way in so that it can flap down. This flips out. Here's another glassine bag. I could put too many of those in here this time. I don't know. This is that paper that I love with the books on it, blue books, and tucked into that. And finally, the other side here, another decoupaged napkin onto a book page. And I did some napkin on both sides there. This one right here is graphic 45. Oops. Isn't that beautiful? Love those. And then Tim Holtz ticket here and a Martha Stewart envelope down below. And in the back, I have a library card. This I purchased from A Tattered Dream, that shop. And there's a couple of these bookmarks behind. And that's the back. This is a fabric that I got from a fabric store that was going out of business, and it was beautiful. It's little perfume bottles, and of course it's got the roses that I love. I did dye the fabric. It was much brighter. I used some water and some vintage photo re-inker to dye that, and then there's the cover again, which I love how that's turned out. And if you have any questions on the details, I know that I was lacking in information on some of those, just make a comment and I will do my best to get back to you as fast as I am able. Thank you so much for letting me share with you, and as always, have a great day.